Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's video is this year's St. Patrick's Day project. We're going to do a coin envelope, a big coin envelope, and we're also going to use a couple of Tim Holtz dies, Santa greetings and tailored, and we're going to mix and match them for our project. So I want to start by creating the base. Okay, so for the base of my coin envelope, I'm going to use an A4 size craft cardstock, and I'm going to score at 8 centimeters. Okay, 22. Okay, so these are the two flaps, and then I'm gonna rotate my envelope, and I'm going to score to make the top flap. I'll score at, let's say, 4 centimeters. This is gonna be the top flap, and then the bottom flap, I'm going to give it a couple of centimeters. Okay, so now I need to cut these pieces here. Okay, so this is my coin envelope. Now, I want to, of course, decorate this. And to do that, I thought of something fun. I thought of creating myself a stencil. I really wanted to have a paper with a lot of shamrocks on it, but I didn't have anything like that. And I didn't print it out because I had this idea. I have this shamrock punch, and I'm going to use this punch to create myself a little stencil. And I'm going to do that using this paper here. So I'm going to cut this area that I already used to punch some things. Okay, I'm going to punch some shamrocks, and I'll try to do that in a pattern. Maybe it will be easier if I do it this way. I'm just trying to create a little pattern, right? Something like this. And then I want another one here, so I'm gonna cut kinda like this, right? And put, so I have this little pattern now. And I'm gonna keep those shamrocks, of course, because they are green, so I can use them for decoration. I'm going to use watercolor pencils. I love using them, and I feel like I don't use them enough in my projects. So I'm going to take them out and just follow this to create the pattern. I'll trace the shamrocks with my pencil, and then of course I'll add water. But first I'm going to trace the shamrocks all over my coin envelope. Okay, so I covered the whole of the coin envelope with the shamrocks, and I also ran the pencil on the edges almost to create a sort of distressed look, which is going to be enhanced once I add water to it. And so that's what we have to do next. Okay, so my base is dry and I'm still not done with the background. First off, I'm going to ink up all the edges, and then I'm going to add some golden splatters. I'm going to do it using this is a dip pen ink, which has a very beautiful golden color, and I think it will be nice to add this to the background. But before I'm going to ink up everything, okay, so for the decoration of my envelope, I'm going to create some different elements. I've already die cut most of the pieces for the Santa greetings die cut. Of course, we're gonna turn Santa into a leprechaun. But before I assemble Santa, I'm going to create the sort of decoration here. And I was thinking I have this from a printable and I want to use it because of course it says Irish Wonders. And I wanted to create a sort of frame layer. So I'm going to create a background and then I'm gonna use this to create the frame, this oval die. And this is of course is going to be glued down on the back here, so it can be visible. I have a little Santa here already assembled. We can imagine this is the leprechaun. So it's going to sit like this. We're going to have the frame layer, and behind the frame layer we're going to have this little print here, and of course we're going to decorate. To create the background that is going to be my frame, I'm going to use some more printables. I'm going to use these two, this one right here and this one right here. They are in green, of course, and I'm just going to cut them out. What I want to do though, I want to get rid of the pictures because the layer is going to be cut anyway, so these pictures are probably going to be cut weirdly. I don't want to have them there, and also, you know, I could always use them for some other project, so I'll just do a little bit of collaging. And because of course this paper that I've printed on is just normal copy paper, I need to glue this down on a sturdier paper before doing everything else. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so this is my frame done. This is how it's going to be positioned onto my coin envelope. And let's just for reference put the things together. That's kind of like how it needs to be. I was also thinking, I have a lot of little shamrocks cut with that punch, right? And I was thinking we could do a little bit of a shaker card maybe. I never tried doing one, and so I think this might be a good moment to try it. Before I do the shaker part, or I try to, I have to ink up everything and add the acetate to this. To create the shaker, I'm going to use this foam tape. Santa is going to be glued down here. As you can see, while I was trying the layout, this is the hat from the tailored die. This was actually the top hat and it was longer. But I didn't like how big it was, so I decided to cut it short. The die also features a smaller hat, but I liked the shape of this because it looks like the leprechaun hat, but it needs to be a little shorter, you know, and I like this way better, like this. Okay, so I have assembled my leprechaun Santa. As you can see, I already cut the letters and I used the alphabet from the same die set. This comes with the Santa greetings dies, but they're not glued down yet. I'm going to do that later. I've also cut some of the letters in green. It spells St. Patrick's Day 2025, and I'm going to glue it down here on the back because I don't want to leave the back empty, and so I want to add a few decorations to this as well. But for now, I'm just going to glue the Santa, or I should say the leprechaun, onto my panel. Okay, so I've glued down all the letters that spell St. Patrick's Day 2025. I've also put a little closure here with a Velcro dot. And now I want to add some decoration. Because in this project we sort of used dies in a creative way, I continue to do so. I looked through my stash and I found these two dies. One that is like a flower and a little heart. And so I thought that this would be amazing to create a sort of shamrock. So this flower gives me these little tiny hearts. It gives you a whole flower. I'll let you see here. This is how it looks. And I cut out the individual petals. And if you put them in a group of 4, they're gonna look like a 4-leaf clover. And I did the same thing with the heart die. I cut out 4 hearts. If you put them together, you're gonna have a bigger 4-leaf clover. So I'm going to use these dies as well as some little tickets that I've cut up. Okay, so I think we have reached the end of the video. I did add some shamrocks here and there, some little labels around my frame, and I'm pretty happy with how this looks, and I don't think I want to add anything else. Trying to see if the shaker worked. It doesn't work very well, I don't know why, but it was my first time trying to make a shaker card, and I think I still have some things to learn. But I'm really happy with how this looks. I'll give you a little close-up. I love when I get to use dyes that are usually seasonal or are used only for special occasions, like in this case, this Christmas dye, because sometimes when we look at these dyes, we think, oh, I can only use this for Christmas. It might be a waste of money buying them if I can only use them once a year. But really, I think you need to look at your dyes and really think outside the box, trying to figure out what can you use them for. Like, not only for a dye like the Christmas dye, but only for this too. I mean, I barely ever use these dyes. This one I don't think I've ever used. I think this came in like the starter pack for the Big Shot. And this hard dye maybe as well. I don't really know where this came from, but I don't ever use them, and now I found a creative way to use them up and, just use what you have at home. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing to my channel, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think. If you haven't watched last year's St. Patrick's Day project, it will be linked down below in the description. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!